Collections Overhaul Proposal, presented to you by your Prince George's County's Department of the Environment. Hey Prince George's County, before we begin, let me just say this. Yes, some changes are about to occur, but we can do this. And remember, here at DOE, we clean, green, and make Prince George's County more healthy and beautiful for you. Why are you overhauling our collections program? Well, first of all, it's good policy, and it's just good practice. We believe that it's the best way to handle the solid waste fund deficit, and it immediately allows us to forestall fee increases for residents. By making these important reforms to improve collection services, we will be able to and continue to support Prince George's County's small minority and county-based contractors. Some of you may be unaware of the county collections history. Well, in this slide, I'd like to give you a brief overview of how we started, and by the end of the presentation, I hope that you'll be able to see where we're going. In the 1970s, the county started trash collections with 2 pickups each week. And remember, at this time, many people were not recycling. In the 1990s, we added a separate yard trim collection, providing a total of 3 pickups each week. In the 1990s, we added a separate recycling collection, some 20 odd years later, providing a total of 4 pickups each week. Now, we know that in the 2010s, we began recycling and composting more and more and trashing less. In fact, 65% of all the county's waste is now diverted out of the trash bin and the landfill. And your Prince George's County stands atop the state of Maryland for the last 2 years running in waste diversion. We also know that most residents do not utilize the second weekly trash pickup to maximum capacity. So we propose returning to 3 pickups as the second trash pickup is no longer needed. And you might ask yourself, well, if you're cutting a day of trash pickup, how will we have 3 pickups? Well, it's a simple formula. You'll still have 1 trash collection each week, 1 yard trim collection each week, and 1 recycling collection each week, which equals 3 times the pickups. You may have also heard us say that we're consolidating services. Well, we are. That's because we're moving 2 services to 1 day a week. Follow me. Let me show you how it works. This proposal makes Prince George's County's operations more efficient. It'll minimize truck traffic. It certainly reduces air pollution and those hated potholes by keeping the larger trucks off the roads for longer, and it's just consistent with our overall environmental mission. Now, we certainly won't be the first to do this, but we also will not be the last. We'll join our neighboring jurisdictions, as in Anne Arundel County, Alexandria, Arlington County, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, the District of Columbia, Fairfax County, Howard County, and Montgomery County, and whoever else you could think of, in moving to once-a-week trash pickup. In fact, Anne Arundel County saw a 6% increase in recycling and a 10% decrease in trash tonnage in the first year that they made the switch, which yielded a $2.6 million savings. And to be quite honest, Prince George's County, those are the numbers we need and more to drive Prince George's County to #1 in the state for recycling. This will help us lock in our leadership in Maryland as the #1 county for waste diversion through the best recycling and composting programs. And as it stands, Prince George's County, we are #1 in the state of Maryland for waste diversions for the last 2 years running, and we plan to move into the #1 spot for recycling. So let's talk a little bit more about the fund deficit. As a resident, you currently pay a fee on your tax bill that goes directly to the solid waste fund. And the solid waste fund pays for a number of essential quality of life programs, including trash, recycling, and composting operations, litter pickups, illegal dumping cleanups, code enforcement, the Clean Lot program, and blight removal. Now the problem. Solid waste fees have not been increased in such a long time, where expenses keep going up due to inflation, compensation of workers, and new mandates. In an effort to forestall a direct increase on the part of residents, we plan to streamline services and eliminate the second day of trash pickup, which we believe is the best option to do this. Now ask yourself this question, Prince George's County. Would you like to see those quality of life programs go away? Would you like to see an immediate increase in your solid waste fees? I would bet not. In addition to the fund deficit, there's also been an increased demand to deal with new laws and new expenses. And to be quite honest, this all requires substantial funding. Let's talk about the Business, Commercial, and Multi-Unit Dwelling Recycling Law, which requires approximately 41,000 locations, that is, county condos, apartments, and businesses, to set up recycling infrastructures. This will require a substantial amount of assistance from staff here at Prince George's County's Department of the Environment to assist those locations with that. This translates to staff time and capacity, which ultimately translates to increased funding. On January the 1st, 2016, a new ban was passed whereby styrofoam products in Prince George's County will be banned. Currently, we're in phase 1, the education phase. Starting July the 1st, 2016, we'll move to the enforcement phase. Here again, this requires substantial capacity from the Department of the Environment, which translates to increased funding. Lastly, let's talk about the mandate, the federal mandate, to clean up an additional 170,628 more pounds of litter each year from the Anacostia River. This requires capacity and staff time from many agencies within Prince George's County's government. Here again, translating to increased funding and staff time. Here's an outlook of the solid waste fund structural deficit. Two things to note. The green line represents revenues and the red line represents expenditures. Pay close attention to fiscal year 2011, where Prince George's County generated just under $93 million in funds. That's great, right? Well, not until you actually pay attention to what we spent, where we spent about $98 million in the same fiscal year. That's about a $6 million gap. As you move down the graph, you'll see that in fiscal year 2016 through 2017, we actually begin to close the gap, which is great, right? Well, hold up. In fiscal year 2021, in this 10-year projection, you'll see that Prince George's County Fund generates just over $100 million. Great again, right? Not exactly. If you pay attention to the expenditures, you'll see that we spend about $113 million in the same fiscal year. So, two things come out of this, and in conclusion, to forestall immediate fee increases for residents, we plan to eliminate the second day of trash pickup, which will immediately save us $6 million annually against the deficit. Could you justify that? Can you actualize the direct financial incentive this proposal has to your Prince George's County government? Well, we hope you can. And I bet as a resident, you're probably asking yourself, where's the direct impact or incentive to me? Well, let me tell you. Your yard waste pickup will now move to Mondays as opposed to currently Wednesdays to follow weekend yard work. Your trash and recycling will move to same-day collections. So now you don't have to determine which toter to send to the curb. You send them both on the same day. Now you don't know that day yet, but we will provide a new day to you. Collections impacted by holidays and inclement weather will slide to the next available day for pickup. Currently, if you are missed because of holidays and or inclement weather days, you're picked up on the next day for pickup for you. Well, our proposal changes that. So, let's say for example, a holiday or inclement weather day falls on a Thursday, right? And you're missed. And we're in operations on the next Friday. You will be picked up on the very next day. The new consolidation of service areas are more efficient for haulers, and it increases responsiveness. We have used GIS mapping technology to ensure that the haulers who pick up your items are based in similar geographic locations, as opposed to, for example, one particular hauler making one stop in, let's say, Laurel, and making another stop, let's say, in Brandywine. That's just inefficient. There's also greater accountability measures to ensure that all service areas receive superlative service. We also propose that fine schedules become more aggressive and will be based on performance complaints from our customers, you, in each particular service area. Improved collection services. So, just in case you couldn't see the obvious benefit to the switch in the last slide, well, we're giving you a free, at no cost to you, 64-gallon trash toter. So similar to your recycling toter, this one a little different because it'll be black. But it also has wheels and a fixed lid. So what we're doing is we're creating a uniform system of sanitation in Prince George's County. And why are we doing that? Well, we're doing it because it's simple. All of you all know somebody or may have a neighbor who actually puts just bags on the curb with no trash toter, or puts a trash can on the curb with no lid. And what happens? Well, when those neighbors go to work, their frenemies come home. And who are the frenemies? Well, you all know them. They are those buzzards and birds and crows, or those possums, raccoons, cats, and dogs. And they just pick at those bags until the trash is exposed and it spills out on the street, creating litter. So we're going to reduce the spillage and litter. We're also going to improve working conditions for our laborers. And we know that this toter will be easily maneuvered by the seniors in our community and the disabled. So again, Prince George's County, we're giving you a free, at no cost to you, 64-gallon trash toter. And it has wheels and a fixed lid. In the introduction, you heard us say that we're going to support county-based businesses and workers. How are we going to do that? Well, let me tell you a brief history about our county-based businesses and workers. We have a unique community of mainly small, local, and minority-owned hauling companies in Prince George's County, which is rather unique because many jurisdictions are dominated by large multinational companies, but we are not. In fact, our haulers employ nearly 300 people with living wage jobs, and they actually live in Prince George's County. The revised hauler contracts will also meet county-based minority and small business requirements under the First Jobs Act and other laws. The new service areas created will provide new opportunities, competitive opportunities for new and existing haulers to compete. This contract and the service efficiencies will result in a $6 million savings. How'd you like that, Prince George's County? In the case that this PowerPoint presentation is too much to digest all at once because you're too excited about the benefits to your Prince George's County government and you as a resident, feel free to visit onceaweek.mypgc.us. Once again, that's onceaweek.mypgc.us for the latest details regarding the trash and recycling overhaul proposal. For those of you who are tech savvy and would like more information, including live video updates, general comments, and tweets about the trash and recycling overhaul proposal, and just other initiatives coming out of Prince George's County's Department of the Environment, like us on Facebook at PGCDOE. Check out our website at environment.mypgc.us. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at PGC Sprout. Thank you.